What is going on, YouTube? Reverse John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Top 5 on this glorious Top 5 Friday. And guys, I'm so excited. We're going through the 2010s, and we have reached 2011, another great year in music history. And these are my personal favorite Top 5 songs of that year. So let's get right to it. At number 5... Simple Math by Manchester Orchestra. Yes, the title track off of their album of that name, and such a great one. This is the song that actually got me into the band, which I had just heard of them prior. And Ian Riley, you know who you are. You got me into this band. Thank you so much for doing that. And yeah, this song just hooked me from the get-go. Just from that opening, just kind of surreal, slow-moving thing, but it really builds into this just huge anthemic rock masterpiece, especially when it gets to the end and it's like, oh, and man, when I got to see them live on this tour, one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. I've actually done a top 5 on that, and you can check that out on the channel, but just an amazing show. The songs from this record and the two prior, Andy Hull and Company, just are incredible live. Do yourself a favor and check it out. But yes, in the meantime, check out this song if you haven't, and that's just my number 5. So now at number 4, Charlie Brown by Coldplay. Absolutely love this song off of Milo Xyloto, which I think is a really underrated album in Coldplay's discography. I mean, from start to finish, it's really great. They really went not full pop on this record, but a little poppier heavy, and it really works out. And especially on songs like this, which have this kind of odd time signature, it's kind of really awkward when you stop and think about how intricate the guitar part is on this, but it's also so catchy at the same time. You just want to dance up and down and, raise your fists and sing along. Just that so cool, man. Johnny Buckland, I think, is just an amazing guitarist. I know a lot of people say, he's carbon copy of, he takes from Radiohead and things like that. But yeah, those are things that make him great. And this, I think, is one of those songs that he truly puts his own stamp on it. And of course, Chris Martin soaring to amazing heights vocally, just a great track. And that's just my number 4. So now at number 3, Anthology by Thrice off of Major Minor. Another amazing track, and another band that Ian Riley got me into. Go figure. Another shout out in one video. But yeah, Thrice, absolutely one of my favorite bands. I think one of the most consistent rock bands out there today. And at the time that this album came out, they were kind of calling it a retirement album. Like they weren't planning on doing anything after this, but thank God they changed their mind and have released several albums since then. But this song, Anthology, what a way to sum up a band's career if they wanted to, with lots of different lyrical references to some of their earlier songs. Really cool. And it just sounds like a song that perfectly just, if you had to pick a Thrice song to be like, hey, this is what this band sounds like, this is it. Just raw, heavy, rocking, and very anthemic and just beautiful. And that's just my number 3. So now at number 2, Little Black Submarines by the Black Keys off of El Camino. I could have gone with several different songs off of this record. I love it so much, but this one is really the heart of the album and the one that to me sticks out the most because it's the one kind of true ballad, which of course by the end of the song it kind of revs up and goes nuts, but just an amazing, I think one of the best ballads that Dan Auerbach has ever written. Just really cool chord progression and the oh can it be, the voice is calling me. Oh man, it's just such a soulful delivery and hooky chorus, and then by the time it does get to the end and they just distort those guitars up to 11, man, it's brilliant. And Patrick Carney just going nuts. You could tell they're just cutting loose in the studio with the live recording. And yeah, I get chills every time I hear the ending of this song. Just amazing. And that's just my number 2. So now at number 1... Breakfast in Bed by God's Green Earth. Now, a lot of you are probably like, well, I've never heard of this song, and I get it, because this was a band that I was in, so yes, I'm biased, but I feel like I have the right to put this at number one on my list, because I actually had no involvement in writing, recording, or producing this track. It was all Donovan Cox, my partner in crime from God's Green Earth. He wrote this song, recorded it, just poured his heart out into the song emotionally, and he sings lead vocals on it as well. And it's my favorite God's Green Earth song. You know, I've sang on plenty of songs on this record, Jupiter and Beyond, Traveler, lots of great songs if you ask me, my opinion. But this is the standout. It just, from the get-go, you hear that guitar riff and it sounds like something you've heard before, yet new and fresh. And then the song just keeps building with these different layers of, it's so hard to like put this in a box because so many different influences. Of course, you get a little bit of like that 80s synthesizer going in there in a good way. And then these kind of futuristic loop drums that just sound amazing by the end of the buildup of this song. And yeah, it's the one that I go back to the most for God's Green Earth. We only had one true album and then an EP followed up the next year. But if you want to check it out, please do, because I think it is that worthy of being number one on this list. And that's saying something, because we've been talking about a lot of great bands, but shout out to Donovan Cox, man. You outdid yourself on this track. It's still probably my favorite thing that you've ever done, and you've done some amazing things through the years. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you think. What would you have on your top 5? And yeah, let me know even a top 10, because as I said, this was such a great year in music, especially for some of those bands you may not have heard of before. We were a short-lived thing, and kind of the height of what we had accomplished was opening for the Life and Times, one of our favorite bands, and that was kind of it. But yeah, this album I think really stands the test of time. So check it out if you're so inclined. And guys, we got top 5s every Friday, album reviews, so much more. Thank you for watching, and as always, Viva La Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.